And hello. Ha ha! We are live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Vobes Show. After last week's kerfuffle when we had problems getting live. Blah!
Sorry, that was me falling off the chair.
Oh, yeah.
Or breaking the chair.
Don't break that
and
chair.
Falling off. No.
Yeah, because that's a carbon copy of the type of chair I had before.
Yeah, it boggled my mind as to why you threw the seat away instead of putting that back on the one bar that you balanced on.
Oh, yeah. I know. It was
whatever.
a lot of it was for visual effect. Can that go down a bit more?
Yeah, we figured that much.
No. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Vobes Show. Here we are. We're live. The lovely Julia and the balding...
lovely Richard.
Yeah, I'm a bit red-faced. I don't know if you can notice. Just there is the fire. We have it blazing because it's very cold outside. And as a result, I'm sitting there setting up the show. I'm now sitting over here away from the fire. The lovely Julia is sitting next. It's nice, isn't it?
I've just come in from the cold.
And
I forgot a jumper, so...
Oh, yeah. So I said, you sit over there, because you're on my blind side now.
Yeah.
Ah, yes. So excuse me having this sort of like... it's like someone's put makeup on me and I've gone all...
Rouge.
Yes. I always feel a bit
cheeks.
weird when you go into a room. And now this happens to me, ladies and gentlemen, quite a lot. Because I live in a cold house, although not for much longer when the Essie arrives. Oh! But normally I live in a cold house, so when you go into somebody's house and it's got central heating, my body goes, oh, this is warm, not used to this, and it starts to glow. And of course I've normally got loads of clothes on, so it's sort of a bit overheating. And you
layer up.
Anyway, that was a little bit of an excuse for why I'm all rosy-cheeked today, but there we are. Let's just make sure we are actually there and there are people watching. Yes, just as I suspected, there are loads of people watching. Hello to you! I won't do the roll call, you know who you are. If you're watching on YouTube, then it's going to be interesting, because this isn't going... For the people watching on Facebook, this is not going on the YouTube channel that it normally goes on.
Right.
It's going on another YouTube channel called The Vobes Show, which I actually had a long, long time ago, and then I decided to put The Vobes Show onto the Bald
You're going to amalgamate them.
Yeah. But I think now it's time to split the two. So...
are you going to put all the previous ones on there as well?
No, I can't be bothered. Yeah, I'm going to leave them where they are, because that will confuse people.
I'm confused already.
I'm confused, and I want to talk about the future of the Vobes Show and what its purpose is and where I would like to take it in today's show. With your indulgence, ladies and gentlemen. And, of course, your comments are key. So that's all good. We will have the gallery. We've got the gallery that we were going to show
on Wednesday.
That never happened.
And of course there was no show Friday.
I'm just going to move this microphone because last time people said, oh, we can't hear Julia. I'm just going to move that a little bit closer to you.
I'm not as loud as you.
I know. Hang on. I'm going to stick it on something.
Oh.
I hope that's not in the way.
You raised it up.
I've raised it up.
So it sits on a yellow box.
Yeah. Luckily they can't see the yellow box, but... hopefully that does the thing. Let me just move the comments down. I may miss... proper chairs this week, says Steve Pilfold. Yes, Andy Joy's with us. Malcolm Glazier. It's fun time again. What happened last week, says Richard Sager. You obviously can't remember when the chair broke and I whacked you over the head with a chair leg and you went, what's happened? And I just said, no, it's nothing. Pam Earnshaw is there. Hello, Pam. Going to mention Pam a bit later on. Ian Beddoes, Fiona Cooper, Wendy Wakelin, etc., etc. You're all here. Oh, where will that be? Are you talking about the YouTube channel? I'll tell you that. Hello, Richard. It is Daniel. Hello, Daniel, on Rachel's, your mum's, account. So it's very nice to see you again. Peter Richardson has joined. Hello, Peter. Blimey. Peter
Someone you know?
Peter Richardson and I went to school all those years ago to Aronside Primary School and then to the Forest of Boys, or Forest Boys as it was called. And we would be at Forest Boys, wouldn't we, Peter? Walking down the corridor, minding our own business, and the big bully boys would come up and just go, oi!
Nice.
And just hit us for no reason. So there we go. Anyway, so that's interesting. Graham Rittington says, evening all. Robert Crozer is there. Good evening, Richard and Julia. which is nice. Nikki Jess says hello as well. Dean Cooper. Hello, Dean.
Hello,
Want to
everyone.
thank Dean. He sent in a large denomination of cash, which is why I'm now going to the south of France. Bye-bye.
Ciao for now.
Ciao for now.
That's why the Vobes Show is no more.
Yeah.
He's gone.
I've accrued all
He's
this
up in it.
all this money. No, thank you so much, Dean. A big supporter of the show. By the way, Dean, just tell me, I just want to make sure that I put you on the list of patrons and you get something called the Naked Englishman podcast. Just if you could just say yes or no whether you do, because I was travelling around when that all happened and I went up to Harrietland, and so sometimes these things get a little bit missed out. So I probably need to take on a secretary to assist me or double check. But anyway, there we go. So very nice to see you all, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for coming on. Steve Pulfold says, trying to define a purpose of the Vobes Show is dangerous because the best bits of it are possibly the sort of things that don't stack up well as individual points, but joined up make a priceless experience for the community supporters.
I know what he's saying, yeah.
What is he saying?
He's saying that. He's saying words that come out on the computer screen.
So,
right there.
how would you interpret that then? So what he's saying is that
there are gold nuggets in there. Is what I think he's saying.
Yeah, I think what he's saying is that to define it is difficult because it has no. It's such.
It's unquantifiable.
Yes, and every now and again there's some good bits. You have to wade through a lot of treacle to get to them. Although actually, you see, the way I look at it is you don't wade through the treacle, you wade through the porridge to get to the treacle or the syrup, because the syrup's the good bit.
Depends if you like porridge or treacle.
Well, I like both, but the treacle is the highlight of the porridge, like the jam in the porridge, because the porridge is bland without the jam, isn't it? That's...
Why are we on porridge again? Sure, we were talking porridge last time.
Oh, were we?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry
last time
about
I
that.
was on, anyway.
Oh, right. Well, it's been a long time.
A week.
Okay.
Today.
Yeah, seems like a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so shall I round out what my thoughts are, and then we'll work out what other people think.
Yes. Then we'll open the floor.
We'll open the floor, and we would disappear in it like that. So, just to recap, for those people who've never seen the show before, and there may be one or two. You keep in charge of that.
Can I just cut in for one moment?
Yeah, no, of course.
Maya needs a shout out because she's had one of those days and she needs cheering up. Shout out, Maya! Hope your day gets better from here on in. I can't hold much hope though.
Why?
Well, because she's watching us.
Oh, no, don't
Sorry.
say that. No, Maya, we hope your day is improving by the moment. After all, we managed to get on this week. Last time on Wednesday we had actual social breakdown. We did get on, but we were now I've got thicker and wider again. I was a slim Jim.
It was a weird one Wednesday in the end, wasn't it?
It was very strange.
And Suggett's laugh was brilliant. He fell about laughing after you fell off the chair.
Yeah, no, good old Mr. Suggett.
Anyway, so back to the meeting. The agenda.
Yes. Back to the meeting, ladies and gentlemen. Serious faces on, please. As you know, those people that do know and those that don't, we had this thing called Bald Explorer, which we still do. And then somebody had said, you should do a live show. It would be quite good. And we started last year, about this time, doing one show a week on a Friday. And I would go in the studio. Sometimes Martin Snow would come in and we would talk sort of Bald Explorer things. And we tried to make it based on history, heritage, that sort of thing. So it reflected what was in the Bald Explorer programmes. But that actually proved quite tricky, mainly because we couldn't go there. There was a lot of research. We didn't have a lot of time. And in the end, I started doing Kenneth Williams impressions. No, stop mucking about. No, I did.
And the rest.
And various other things. A lot of Terry Thomas as well came out.
Not that there's a problem with it, but
No, well, it became a bit self-indulgent, and I thought, this doesn't sit well on the Bald Explorer because the Bald Explorer is one thing, Vobes Show is another. So I figured what we should do is put the Vobes Show into a different place. and increase the number. And we did increase the number. We did it every day, Monday to Friday, every day. So I don't know how I managed to do that.
I have no idea how you managed to do that.
But then I used to do a daily podcast, 30 minutes, every day. At 5 o'clock in the morning, I would go down into the shed, in weather like this, fire up the thing, put on my headphones because it was a podcast, and do this, hello, ladies and gentlemen, it's the Vobe here. Oh, look at that out the window there. Look, icebergs are coming in. And I would have this comedy host of characters who would come in. There was Arnie, who was the doorman, and he would always say, is everything all right? You won't let anybody in. I don't want any of those purple rinse. Oh, I don't want any of those purple rinse, because I was talking about the old lady. The blue rinse brigade. Don't want any of the blue rinse in. Make sure they're not coming. And he'd just, yeah. That sort of, he would only just grunt. Arnie would go. Then there was Eric down in the basement. Eric was always down there going, that's right, sir. Oh, anything you want, sir. So these characters exist, and then every now and again other characters would come in. I would have guests on Skype. It was great. I loved it. I had 3 computers, 3 computer screens, and I played it live. Not live because it was all recorded, but I did it as if it was live, and I played it like an organ. Yeah. You know, like a church organ pulling out the stops.
Yeah.
So one would have sound effects and music on. One would have the internet, so I could access and go to YouTube and get music and effects and bits and pieces. And the other one was the recording machine. And so people would be talking about something. We'd have a subject going. I'd go and quickly find something and play it. It was great. Loved it.
It sounded very complex.
It was very complex, or very even complex.
Complex.
And and I loved that. And I did that for like 10 years. And then it sort of plateaued, I think, because I was getting a bit bored. I felt the audience was getting a bit bored, and it wasn't growing. There was no money coming in. I couldn't sustain it, so I stopped. Anyway, so that was an early incarnation of the Vobes Show, and I figured, I don't know what to do with this. Then, of course, I got back into videos, and the Bald Explorer started to take off, and that's where I went. And then, as you know, we started to do what we've done. Now, where do we go from here, ladies and gentlemen? Because here's the rub, as they say. Are you taking a mickey?
No.
I can't see you now.
I was keeping myself entertained while I'm trying to listen.
Yeah. So here's the rub, ladies and gentlemen. The Bald Explorer has had quite a good increase in subscribers, has it not?
Yes.
Yes. All of a sudden. And that's no thanks just to me. It's thanks to people like yourself. It's thanks to Matthew Holdsworth for doing tons of sharing. It's thanks to people like Mr. Suggett for being in them, and Mark English for helping out. And it's all thanks to you guys for sharing and telling people and all of that. And people like Dumpman as special guests and those, you know, all of those sort of things. And it's grown and grown. We've had this diverse of subjects.
Yeah, not to mention all the contributors. Did you say that?
And all the contributors.
I chewed that word up, didn't I, as well?
No, that was a good word. So it's sort of grown and it's grown, but now I feel that the work is really about to begin, because I want to increase not the amount of videos, but I want to increase where we go, make them more interesting, have a bit more fun in them, still landscape, nature and heritage, but I just want to up the ante rather than just too much of a meandering thing. I want, you know, it's nice having the guests and going to the churches and going to some of the places, but I want us to go out. I want me to go out with Mr. Suggett and you know, Mark English and other people, but have a bit more fun with it and open it up. And but not silly, not like the Vobes Show, not like this, not like, you know, really stupid. Well, not that I'm being very stupid, I'm being very serious into them. Being very serious, ladies and gentlemen. I still want the Vobes character to be there.
Out of curiosity, on a scale of 1 to 10... 10?
1 to 10?
I went all New Zealand then.
Oh, right. Is that how they go in 1 to 10?
10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. On a scale of 1 to 10, yes.
I almost forgot what I was going to say. How silly was the live we did from the top of Glastonbury tour?
How silly was that?
Yeah.
That wasn't silly.
It wasn't?
Well, yeah, it's kind of silly, but that was because that was of the moment. That was thrilling. That was us getting excited.
Something definitely took us over there.
It was excitable. It was on the top of the tour when we were and you were playing your recorder and I was running round.
It was the adrenaline as well, because we'd just come up the harder side, hadn't
Yeah,
we? And
yeah.
It's, and I'd been looking back going, oh my God, it's really high.
And we were there, that was the thing.
Yeah, and the wind, and there was no one else there at the time. The wind had picked up as well.
Are you blaming that wind on me?
No.
Nobody else there. Charming, that is.
No, the natural.
Oh, the natural. Well, all my wind is natural,
yes,
don't you know?
yes,
Comes
knew
out
that was
both ends.
coming.
Both ends, that's it.
Anyway.
A cervic.
Acerbic.
Anyway, whatever. So anyway, the point is, now I don't feel that the Vobes Show is little more than me reading your comments out, showing a few pictures, and getting very hot by the fire. You getting very hot by the fire?
No, I'm cozy. I love it.
Oh, cool. Okay. And I would like it to be more fun with bigger things. You know, I think of it as being a bit like. Do you remember the? Not that I like him as a presenter, but more that sort of thing. The TF Friday thing with the guy on Radio 2 who's leaving. Chris Evans. There we go. You know, something where there's much more than just sitting about, where we're getting involved and opening a big box, and I put you into a big box and wrap it up and send it off to Alaska or something, and then the next thing
somewhere hot,
please. And then the next thing is we see you in Alaska, climbing out, going, "Oh, Richard, I would like it to be a fun show, a much more dramatic, fun show than sitting just here waffling."
I like how I just took offence that you sent me to Alaska instead of, I don't know,
being boxed up and sent in the post, It's like you accepted being
nice.
wrapped in a box and shoved in the post. I would like the Vobes Show to be much more not silly, well, kind of silly, but completely different to the Bald Explorer, being more than just a chattering like this, because I don't know how much value this is. So this is where it'd be interesting to get your thing. But before we get there, hold your horses, ladies and gentlemen. So the Bald Explorer is taking more time and more of my resources, and I need to sit down and think and plan things for the Bald Explorer. And at the moment, I mean, obviously with things going on in the house, with trying to get the kitchen sorted out and various things, I haven't had a lot of time. But I want more of the mini adventures. I want us to go places and see things and do things and more exploration. I want to get the exploring things back into it. Us going to places we've never been to and going, oh my God, look at that. And then the Vobes Show being a show, a bit like, not quite Anton Deck Saturday night thing, but something where we're doing stuff.
Something interactive and entertaining.
Yes, interactive and more entertaining. I want to push the boundaries, because otherwise I don't feel I'm delivering. Because the Vobes Show doesn't bring anybody to it. That the bottom line is the Bald Explorer brings people in, because it's a niche. The Vobes Show is only performing to those people who know it. So I don't know whether I want to stop completely, do just one a week, or just do maybe an informal chat type show where we're just sitting there going, hello, all right, this is what I've been doing. So I'd be interested in your thoughts on that. I'm just trying to work it out. And at the moment I keep setting up into this room, because the studio's still full of kitchen, because the kitchen is being decorated and I've got this new stove coming in. So let's go to the comments, shall we, and see. Let's go right back and we're just going to go back and plough through some of those comments. See what people think. Can I get on the gravy train if I move to Sussex, says Mark Selwood. I don't know what time the gravy train leaves. I think it's at Bistow o'clock. Steve McComb says it's a good idea. I'm not quite sure what is a good idea.
Richard Suggett says, that reminds me, Richard, I'm interviewing a lady in a couple of weeks who has a canal boat. Should I ask about the chance for video?
Yes, yes, please, do.
Yeah, especially if she can take you along a little bit.
Yeah, if we could go for a little jaunt in the canal boat, that would be fantastic.
What was the other one?
I'd help if I was closer, says Robert Croser. Not Robert Closer. No,
but
Robert,
you're getting it. Well done.
I'm desperate to come up and see you and shake your hand, because you must be the furthest from us, right up there, near Hadrian's Wall.
Steve Pilfold says, when you said still landscape, I immediately thought not portrait.
Yes. Yeah, not portrait.
Steve McComb says...
don't be too serious.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I jumped in.
That's right.
Yeah, I don't want it to... I want it to be fun, where possible. I think fun is what what brings, I think the thing about both formats, I want to bring a bit more life to the Bald Explorer, because serious, you can read a book if you want facts and figures. Some of the landscape's good, but I just want it to have a bit more oomph.
Fiona Cooper says she'd like to see more of Dumpman, and Vicky Allen says, what has happened to Dumpman?
Well, Dumpman, obviously Dumpman works. He works very hard. His main thing is about railways. We've done quite a lot of his, what I would call his golden things in Sussex, like the tunnels and the abandoned trains, and some of the stations. So for Dumpman to give me something different, it means going a lot further. We'd actually have to go away somewhere. Well, he's got a young lady and he's got a child, or his young lady's got a child. He's very busy, so I can't persuade people to give more than they can give.
Terence Dackham says we sure don't need a second Chris Evans.
No, and I don't mean to be like. I'm just using him as an example. I particularly don't like him. But
Vicky Allen says we could all come to your house, Richard.
Yeah, you can all come to mine. We can squeeze you in somehow.
Mark Selwood says I don't want a TFI, Richard.
No, and I'm only using it as an entertainment. I'd like to do more than just sit here. I'm a performer, and I feel that somehow the thing about the podcast is I could sit and perform, but give the illusion, because all the images were in your head, and of course the pictures are better in your head than they are in real life, and I feel constrained by the limitation of the camera and the facilities that I have. Whereas in audio, you could do anything with sound effects. You could take a rocket to the moon and leave. I could leave the lovely Julia up on the moon, and she could do a moonwalk or something. Or we'll go to Alf-based station. Lunar, Julia or whatever. It's one small step, and you'd have all the pictures in your head. But when you put a camera on, suddenly you're there, and you can't, like on television where they've got a big budget. It costs so much money to do these things, and this is where I just feel so constrained to try and entertain in a very limited sphere.
I've still got Ground Control to Purple Ranger going around my head now.
Oh, good. Ground Control to Purple Ranger, yes, there we go.
Yeah. Malcolm Glacier says, a more scripted and planned once-a-week show then?
Yes, but then you see, my problem is time. My problem is having the time to create, because my main thing is the Bald Explorer. As I said before, the Bald Explorer is what brings people in. Loads of people now watching the Bald Explorer. That's where I've got any chance of actually turning this into a proper revenue stream, so that we can really go to town and make first-class programmes that entertain.
Well, apparently we just had 53 watching just a few minutes ago.
Thank you very much. If you're tuning in for the very first time, we've hit about 53. We're on about 50 at the moment. It's very kind of you to watch. I'm Richard Vobes. This is the lovely Julia. And we're in my sitting room. Can't go in the normal studio because half my kitchen's in it, whilst I'm waiting for a beautiful Essie Ironheart, which is like an Arga, but smaller, like a Rayburn, but nicer, and has a fire in it. I had to try to work out how you describe it.
Alex Whitlock says... Alex Whitlock says...
He says blah, blah, blah.
Yes, that's exactly what he
says. Blah, 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 blah.
Try doing a Skype show again.
A Skype show, yeah.
I had people Skype in. Was that...
The funny thing was, we did the Skype show, and overall, most people said...
Something weird won't happen.
That will. Don't worry about that. As long as these are going, we're all right. The overall opinion on the Skype show was that it was not very good, because there was no subject, and we were getting people. So people were ringing in,
it was
just saying, "Oh yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, how are you? Yeah, all right, nice." So it was a good experiment. But if one could have a talk show, then it would be great. I'd love to do a talk show where people could call in, but the facilities, I haven't got really the facilities to do that at the moment, and on Skype and all of this, it's still tricky for me. Read the Bald Explorer, says Alex Whitlock, an independent archaeologist who also does a school run. I do have chunks of time available sometimes. Where are you based, Alex Whitlock? Anthony Jones. Hello from Shrewsbury. Hello to you from Shrewsbury. Anthony, tomorrow we're at Shrewsbury Castle. The lovely Harriet and Lola and I are exploring Shrewsbury Castle.
Yay,
so that'll be a video.
First
of the videos from Shrewsbury will be pouring out to your screen. So check out that on the baldexplorer.com website or Facebook group or YouTube channel. How do you ever watch Ant and Dec? Did a little Ant and... What did you ever watch? Oh, when Ant and Dec did a little Ant, and little mini versions go off and do interviews. To be honest, I didn't watch much of it. Did you?
Not really.
It's
but
not.
No, I do recall that.
It's not my cup of tea. This is my cup of tea, however. But I think I did see one. Harriet used to watch them and used to force me to watch them. But I don't. I'm not going out with Harriet now, so I don't have to watch them. That's what broke us up, really, watching Ant and Dec.
Steve Pilfold says, should have done the Vobes Show live from my parish council's meeting this evening, as about 50 of the locals are so angry about the state of the village pond, they are all turning up to storm the meeting. Think Vicar of Dibley's council meetings and you get the idea.
Oh, wow.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, no, that sounds... What's happening to the pond? Now we're interested. What's happening to the pond? We go straight over to Steve Pilfold. And Steve is out there...
Yes, it's Steve Pilfold here in the pouring rain and the freezing cold in the middle of the pond. And I can tell you there's a lot of pond weed gathering at the edges, and they're just the residents around it. They've come in to see what sort of thing is going to happen when a big hose is shoved in one end and all of it is siphoned out and put into mugs of tea for the WI. I don't know. Back to the studio.
Thanks, Steve. Well, there we are. Anyway, I'm enjoying my mug of tea from the pond water. There's a lot of pond life in there. I used to love... but one of my skills, if you can call it a skill, and it's not everybody's cup of tea, is I used to love just doing those improvisations and and that was what the old vote... See, I had this feeling in my bowels, so I'm going to go and sort it out. No, I had this feeling that I ought to do the Vobes Show back as a podcast. But I could have a webcam so people can watch it being recorded. That's how I did it before. There's a bigger audience. There may have been something magic that I had before. I didn't realise it was magical. And now I'm struggling to find a different magic. Maybe the magic was there. Does that make sense? It's just technology. You see, one of the things is... When we were doing all that, we had something called cam streams. You could only get 20 people on to watch at any one time because there wasn't enough bandwidth. Yeah. And when we were doing the podcast back in 2005, nobody knew what a blooming podcast was. And there's me spouting my stuff, being a complete and utter buffoon. And few people liking it, but most people just thinking, who is this idiot? But now people have got, smartphones and they can access podcasts and they can watch videos. And we watched something, didn't we, today? We watched a YouTube video with a famous YouTube video person, young one. We watched this bloke, and he's on video. They've all got huge, great big no tie-clip microphones, nothing discreet, massive microphones like that, headphones, so that they can hear themselves.
Yeah, it looked like they were supposed to be gamers sat at screens, talking to 20 other people.
Most odd. They had headphones on, and yet there was no mixing of music or, you only got headphones, really. You only need them on when you're mixing in stuff so you can hear levels, and not everybody necessarily needs it, or you've got a phone in and you've got people. But when you're making a video like us, what do you want? You're only hearing yourself. I can hear you.
Yeah. It would be interesting to find out what that was all about. Why?
And it seems to be...
It must have a reason, surely. I can't think of one.
I can't think why. So maybe people can answer that one. I will do a thing on the blooming pond, says Steve Pilfold. It was a lovely village pond. Then we had a drought summer and all the fish died. And then there was supposed to be...
Desilted.
Oh, desilted. And that's been a disaster. Oh, yes, you can imagine. That would be a nice skit, that would be, wouldn't it? Sounds like a race. If it's not broke, don't fix it, says Robert Croser. Oh, yeah.
Said if it's not bloke, don't fix it.
Oh, yeah, if it's not bloke. Well, I'm not very good at listening to podcasts, says Matthew Holdsworth. Why? Is something wrong with your ears? Do they fall off when you start listening? Do they go, uh-oh, boing, boing? Would you fall asleep? I understand, of course, not everybody is going to want to listen to a podcast. Ali Nicole, hello. Prefer a podcast or video podcast? Oh, that's interesting. Thank you, Ali. He's a long-term listener. Because he listens a lot to the Naked Englishman. There were hundreds of ducks. Oh, here we go. And now it is just a muddy puddle. But I think it's more to do with the weather than the council's lack of action. What has the council got to do to a pond?
Well, what were they supposed to do in the drought? Fill it up, but...
Is it really the remit of the council to fill up a pond? I mean,
it is a shame that all the fish died and then it dried out.
But that's life, isn't it? I mean, these people have got to get real, haven't they? Because I don't understand. This is, when the Normans came over and they brought in bureaucracy and everything was written down in the Doomsday Book and everything was like, ever since then, I'm sure the Saxons, they couldn't give a monkeys, could they? Nothing was written down. But now we know every time something happens, it's all written down. And the one thing that we have this, we better make a note of that then. Oh, yes. And we've got this sort of mollycoddle sort of thing. Everyone's got a job's worth and this, that and the other. But in nature, a pond will fill up with water when it rains. It will evaporate when it droughts. The fish may die or not, but they'll come back because that's what happens. But people go, oh, whoa, the council, they got to do it, haven't they? It's like, no, the council can fill in the potholes in the roads so the cyclist doesn't go poof, in front of a car and die, or people don't wreck their cars they spent a lot of money on. The council can make sure the bins are actually cleared and not bits left over and just go, oh dear, bit of wrong recycling, gonna leave it, suit you. That's what the council should be doing. They should be doing the amenities, not worrying about the silly pond. And if people are that worried, they could always get buckets of water from their tap and go and fill it up, couldn't they? Or they could all go out and form a group and go, it's your turn with the net. All right, Raymond. And get the net in there and try and sort of get rid of all that, lugweed or whatever it's called. And pull all of that. They could, as a community effort, the council, it's like everybody defers everything. Oh, the government should do it. Oh, yes, somebody else should do it. Not us. No, not me. Not us. It's nothing to do. Oh, no, the government have got to do it. They've got to rule my life and make sure nothing happened. Oh, I tripped over there. I'm going to I'll sue the government because they put the stones down. Oh, it's always somebody else's fault. I do beg your pardon. If you've got a complaint about the Vobes Show, write to Worthing Borough Council because they probably will have something to say about it. No doubt they'll be knocking on my door any minute now to say, could you stop talking about the pond in Steve Pilfold's village? It's not right, it's not proper, and it's not...
Tain't right, tain't fit, tain't proper.
There we go, to quote Winston Graham, creator of Poldark. Oh, we've got some long ones here. You going to read them or shall I?
You read them. You're on a roll.
Okay. So, Ian Beddoes, he says, we used to watch you tape the podcast every night, then do a live show for an hour or so. Always ended when Granny Pearl's clock struck 12 as she monopolised the end of the show. It's true, that's right. Andy Delgley says, hi Richard and Julia, it's been amazing how much content you've been broadcasting and I love it. A Naked Englishman podcast every day, 3 live shows, Vobes shows a week, plus videos of the Board Explorer. You must be exhausted. Equally, sometimes it's tough to find time to keep up with you. Maybe a Vobes show once a week would give you space. Please don't stop. Anne Osborne says she also likes The Naked Englishman. I mean, I don't want to... Steve McCombs is Richard's rant on pond life. I don't want to stop. And I always... Here's the thing.
Here's the thing.
Here's another thing.
The thing.
I'm amazed. I can understand people like the Board Explorer because there's landscape, nature and the other one, heritage, in it. Mm-hmm. And so it sort of stands up. I'm amazed that anybody watches what I do or is interested in what I, like the Vobes Show and stuff, or that they're entertained, because I never feel I'm giving value. I never feel I'm that entertaining unless I'm really doing like that. I feel I have to shout and scream and stand on my head because I used to lie on a bed of nails and eat fire and do extreme things. You're right, you're nervous.
Yeah, I was just ducking out of your way.
Yes, get out of my way. Yes. So when people like, was it Alex who said that just now? Andy, sorry, Andy. When people like Andy say, don't stop, I am amazed, really. I am amazed. I'm amazed that people like it. Because I just think I've not really done anything. He's off again.
Steve Pilfold says, next time I won't mention the pond. Okay. Thanks.
I want to know what's going on at the pond. No. And not only that, I want pictures. No. I want pictures of the pond.
Unless the council have actually filled that pond in and done something on purpose, then leave it out.
This is where I would love to be able to go, right, we're going to get in the car, we're going to take the video, we're going to drive to the pond, we're going to take some heavy duty lights, something like a 50k watt light, rack it up, film the pond, and then go on wade into the middle of the pond with waders on and pull out the fish and have them flapping about like that and going, yes, that's one that's alive, slap. And I'd love to just, a bit like Monty Python, be able to just go, right, we're going. And you get up, the camera, and you go. My imagination is extreme. But it would be just lovely to be able to do that. That's what I would like. I'm so frustrated by it all. Best not, he'll go off the deep end. Yeah, probably. Give him a slap on the head. No, that's it. Paul Hines says... Yes, you may have a wider audience for your message to be heard, but if that audience isn't engaged, those numbers are totally worthless. And that is a very good point.
Yep.
Thanks. It's, yeah. I suppose what it is I just feel, I need to feel that what I'm doing is worthwhile. And I just don't feel that what I'm doing, I mean, it's down to you guys to tell me, I suppose. I don't know that I'm giving value for money. That's what it is.
I know what you mean. I don't have any.
Because some days I just feel that we've wung it. Wung it? We've winged it. We've wung it. We've wrung out every. Some days I just feel that we had nothing, and we've switched on the camera and had nothing, and I wonder, did we get away with that? Did people like that? Was that okay?
Constant second guessing.
And because there's just no time to prepare, because the Board Explorer stuff does take time, and also there's real life to live as well. There's all these books to read and
logistics of getting places.
Yeah. So
all of that. Yes,
I can talk to you and others. I feel less lonely for an hour, says Maya. Well, now that's a very interesting point, because part of what I was thinking, and this has been on my mind for several months, is there's lots of people who are lonely, and I wanted some format that you could interact with people, but we weren't getting new people very often, and I wanted to find some way that you could interact with me and we could talk about things and stop people from being lonely.
Yeah.
Somebody said they were lonely the other day. Oh, yes, I know. I can't remember.
Matthew Holdsworth says, my favourite live was when you went out with Julia and Mr. Suggett with Bessie out and about.
Yes.
BBB, bring back Bessie. I actually had a dream about Bessie the other day. We took her for a walk down in a foresty thing and went live. And
oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
Foresty thing.
Obviously, at night time, it's very difficult to do that.
Yeah.
And next year, I mean, it's all a great big experiment, all of this. I mean, we're learning as we go, and I'm constantly analysing what I do, thinking, how do I make it better? How do I make it better? And it's feedback. It's people like you. It's like Maya saying about the lonely thing, and Matthew, you saying about that. You're thinking, right, okay. Clearly there's something. We're doing something right, but I want to be able to do it right all the time. We love you, Richard, says Richard Suggett. Yes, thank you very much. You are giving value for money, James DeWill. You're sounding daft. It's priceless. You see, that's what I don't get. Is it? Is it priceless? Well, that's because nobody pays for it, so it must be. But I always feel embarrassed that people have, if anyone sees it and they think, well, it wasn't very clever. But that's just me. I have a very low opinion of myself. That's the trouble. Dan Thompson says, we love you guys. Oh, Nigel... sorry.
Yeah.
Nigel Sadler. Go on, you read it.
Okay. Nigel Sadler says, I know Richard hates this, but the advantage of watching on YouTube versus Facebook is that you can speed the video up to roughly double speed. When you get used to it, you don't miss anything, and you can save time, or can watch 2 videos in the space of 1. Great for busy people. Yeah, I suppose that it's not many people can actually do that, though, and actually be able to enjoy. Maybe you're only enjoying it when you speed it up. I don't know. But that kind of adds to the problem we've got, isn't it? Well, obviously the content isn't enough then. Am I right?
Yeah, I don't understand. The thing about speeding it up is so that you can watch the content and get to the point. But it's almost as if it's like speed reading. You're not, you know, if you want to read a book and really enjoy a book, read it out loud because you'll savour every word. However, not everybody wants to read a book out loud and they scan read it because they just want to get through it. They want to go, what's happening next? What's happening next? And I don't think you get to enjoy it as much. And if you have to speed just so that you can go, oh, right, okay, Rich has done another podcast. I'll get. You're not really listening to everything. You're not listening to the intonation. You're not listening to the way it's spoken, which is just what I said with the intonation, or the thoughts behind it. And it's... To me, yes, it's true. As a busy life, you're just keeping up. Well, that and you're entitled to do it however you like, of course. But one would like to think that as a creator of this content, that we're doing it at the right pace, and that we don't have to do it very fast so that you can keep up with us all the time. Otherwise, we'll get on to the next thing and we'll and then you get to slow down.
Anywho.
There's a moment.
Matthew Holdsworth says the
yes.
feedback of the comments here is what makes it special. You wouldn't get that on a podcast.
It's true. That is very true. And that this is why you don't need that much content, because you're providing a lot of the content, which is, and it's a two-way street. So interactivity is the key thing. Debbie Martin says you are funny even without trying. The rapport you have... Oh, it's gone. Hang on. Keep that rapport. Between you and Julia is great and makes the program... Hang on, wait, it keeps going up. I also love it when you have guests on. Oh, well, that's very kind of you, Debbie. There we are. We have a rapport.
Yeah, apparently so.
I have a sore paw and
I have a raw paw.
A raw paw. Yeah.
Anyway.
I'm feeling sad now. I think I need a drink, says Vicky Allam. Don't take a Valium, Vicky Allam. Just have a drink and you might stink. I don't know why that came out. Sarah Paul. I expect lots of people aren't able to watch live programmes like me. You're not a live programme, are you? That often not because they don't enjoy it, but because they're out, back late from work, etc. Yes, that's true. Yes.
Too far.
I speed all my videos on YouTube, says Dan Thompson.
Fair enough. I don't think I could manage that. I mean, I could listen to a podcast sped up a little bit, but I don't think I could watch something.
Thing is, I mean, the creators... This is
Unless
annoying!
You're just listening.
This is very annoying! Don't tell me you do that! Don't tell me you do it!
Ooh, sir.
Because, you think... You take all this time to create this thing and all that editing, and then you just go, oh, we'll just speed it up. It's like, what's the point? Watch fewer shows. I don't mean to... I'm not getting at anybody personally, Dan Thompson, Nigel Sadler. Not getting at you because we love you to bits and we value, but...
We do.
But really? Speed it all up? Well, you can't do that live, can you? You can't do it live. Do you know what? I'm going to sit here, do nothing.
Oh,
can't speed the sit here and do nothing routine. Dan Winter. This show is unique in fact that you are interacting with people who have built up a relationship with you both. Does that not... I thought all shows on these lives, are they not all like this?
No.
Are they not?
No. Not really.
You sound like the... Really?
No,
Blimey.
I don't know. Am I wrong? I'm looking already.
Yeah,
already.
To me, you guys are the most important things, because without you watching, there is no show, clearly. And without the feedback, what's the point? I think anybody who has made a comment, I find it harder on Facebook, admittedly, on the comments. You're good at that. On YouTube, anyone who's made a comment on the video, I feel I've got to answer them because they've taken the time, they've taken the trouble to say something about the video you've made. And I feel I've got, even if it's just like, thank you. I think that's so important. I mean, obviously, if there's millions of comments, you can't.
No. Steve Pilfold says, don't forget the gallery. Well, interesting you say that.
Yeah.
Because whatever happens to the Vobes Show, I enjoy putting the gallery together. I really enjoy looking, keeping tabs on what's going on in the group and what people are sharing, and taking the information and the pictures you put and put them together. So we might possibly still
we are
still going to make a gallery.
Yeah. So
maybe once a week or something.
We thought of a different idea. So the Vobes Show is probably most likely going to continue because I like to perform. I'm a performer.
He can't help himself, can he?
I can't help myself. And just once this Essie is in and I get back into the studio, it'd be so much easier just to turn it on. Hello!
I've just realised, no, he actually means don't forget to do the gallery.
Yeah. We will.
It's 9 minutes.
It's all right. We'll get to it. We will get to it. We got something to eat as well, and we've got some other things to talk about. So
we better quick.
Yeah, we're going to be quick. But the gallery, here's an idea. Just want to throw this out to you. I was thinking, because I want to keep the Vobes Show more separate from the Board Explorer so we can talk about other things, but keep the same people who want to come along. So that's that. And we thought what we could do is, because we still want to encourage the Vobing reporting, and because people have been sharing that on the Board Explorer group, we want to keep that going. I think that's really great. That's the highlight, really, is to see people out with their cameras and videoing. And it's so rewarding that people have been inspired. So definitely want to keep that. And that people are posting their pictures on the group. And we want people to post their pictures on the group and put more information about the pictures on the group rather than just dumping any old picture. Here's a picture of my pedal bin. And here's my hamster going in it. And here's the pedal bin on fire. And here's us praying that we get another hamster and another pedal bin and they don't catch on fire. So we want people to keep posting their stuff, but we want a bit more information. But we thought it would be nice, rather than having that in the Vobes Show, because it's not really related to the Ball Explorer group, we thought we would do a separate show, wouldn't be necessarily a live show, where we just do a little video about the gallery, or it's the best of the Board Explorer pictures, not all the best of the this week's chosen pictures. And we wouldn't necessarily just show one, but we'd show a couple maybe that you've posted, put it into a video with us having a chat, and also maybe get one of you as a guest, or get, you have comments about it. So you turn that, and a Vobing report perhaps goes in there. So we pull that element out, and it would be shared on the group, of course, and on YouTube and everywhere else. But as a separate thing, we may run competitions as well. We would encourage people to take the pictures landscape, so they fit on there. And it's also another way to sort of remind people to become a patron, which is vital. So we thought we might take the gallery and the Vobing reports out of the Vobes Show. That might give the Vobes Show less having to remember, like you said, don't forget to do the gallery. So that we can do, because I'd like to do some stuff for the Vobes Show. We're out and about, and it may be possible that we should do, when we're out and about, and go, not only do a behind the scenes, but do a funny for the Vobes Show. It's just a question of getting ourselves together. Should we do the gallery?
Yeah.
Do 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 boop ba do ba do 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 do. Sorry. So this is the gallery from Wen's daddy. Wen's, we couldn't get it on because we couldn't get the thing going. So let's see if we can get it going. Now, can you remember all the information about it? Luckily, it's just written down there, but don't tell them that. You're a genius at remembering. So, shush, laddie. Here is the first one, ladies and gentlemen. There it is. So,
where's my info?
Your info's coming. There it is. There's Yes, wait.
Where's the info?
Where's the info on that one? It's hang on, don't panic. This is a picture of a graveyard, ladies and gentlemen.
With yews.
And yews. There's some lovely. Hang on, I've just got to find it. There's some lovely yews to look at there. But
this one is from
Yes.
Matthew Holdsworth.
Yes.
I think this is one that Glenn Johnson may have got to before me. But here are a few photos of the little cemetery on Lee Street in Hawley.
Oh.
It's almost entirely surrounded by 1970s housing.
Lovely houses from 1970s. Yes, they did some great ones. Now, this one is a typical picture that came in portrait mode. And in order to actually show it, I've had to on full screen. It loses a lot of it, so I have no idea what it's about, but maybe the lovely Julia can fill us in.
Yes, well, this was a photo from Steve Pilfold.
No, don't be stupid, because Steve Pilfold only does landscape. He'd never do anything portrait.
He says, amazing how technology moving on makes contemporary art become historic art.
Oh, is that right? Oh, yes, because there's a phone in the picture on this sculpture of some description. Sorry, Steve, couldn't resist having to make this landscape when you know exactly.
Oh, good lordy.
I'm so soggy. What about this one, then?
This is from Shirley Adset, a relatively new member of the group. She says, beautiful rainbow this afternoon, taken while visiting a garden centre close to where I live.
And where does she live?
I don't know.
No, who knows? Who knows the secret of the black magic box?
Another Matthew Holdsworth.
Really?
He says, I thought you might like to see this, which was shared by a friend of mine. It's a letter from the headmaster of Christ's Hospital regarding visits of parents in World War II.
Oh, what does it say? The possibility of an air raid warning and the complication of school activities owing to the blackout have compelled the council to curtail the visits of parents and friends of the boys to the school. Following regulations have been made. The visits of parents may only take place on Saturdays. It can't be promised that the boys will be set free from the house. If a bomb lands on the boys, they'll explode. Their heads will go inwards and their ears will fly out. If you've got any boys with bogies in their nose, it's best that they flick them up towards the enemy aircraft as it goes overhead. Adolf Hitler is not somebody who likes a bogey in his face. If you can get one to him, that'd be lovely. No boy will be allowed to receive more than 2 visits from their parents, but they can receive a special box full of bogies. Visitors are advised to bring their own bogies in their respirators. Make sure they're on the outside, though, because you won't be able to flick them. Until further notice, no boys may be taken outside and shot. Under 16 children of any age, mainly the 16 and unders, of course, may not visit the school without a special licence. Cars of the visitors may not be parked in the avenue, but they may be put in a small hole and driven underground. This is a permanent regulation.
Do you feel better for that?
I'm just reading what it says there, obviously.
Obviously.
Thanks to Matthew Holdsworth for that one.
And thank you to Mark Selwood for this one.
Oh.
He took these, it would have been Wednesday afternoon, where he lives in Redruth. These dogs have been here many years, making Cornwall's mining history. Marking Cornwall's mining history, and for a few days at least, Remembrance Day.
Are they Wellington boots?
Yes.
Ah, they look like Wellington boots.
Well, I think they're mining boots more to
Oh,
more
I beg
to
your
the
pardon.
point.
Are they mining boots?
I should think so, yes.
Yes. Can't think of any dog-related jog. You can jog in boots, can't you?
Yeah, jog on.
Yeah, jogging on now, sir. Here we go. What about this one then?
This is a photograph from Linda Kane.
Linda Kane, lovely, lovely Linda Kane. Yeah.
Where's the mallet when you need it?
I haven't got it.
She said she awoke to a stunner on Wednesday morning.
Oh.
Hope you all had a good day.
She's lucky, isn't she? She woke up next to her in bed was a stunner. Amazing, isn't it? You must have got in through the window. Well done and lucky to you, Linda. How about this?
Julie Ann Kinch sent this one in, and she said, after all that rain, a nice walk around the common pond in Hailsham and looking at the beautiful autumn colours made me feel good.
Well, look at it. It does look very lovely, doesn't it? I bet all those leaves have gone since last week.
Yep.
They've gone very, very fast. Ooh,
My ear.
That whistled rather right. What about this old war
Jay
one?
Carter sent this one in.
Yeah.
She said, during World War II, the Canadians did training on Holmwood Common.
Oh.
These are the remains of Nissan huts. Not very good pictures, but I was very pleased to finally find these.
Yeah, and if you look very closely in the Nissan huts, you can see a couple of old Nissan cars. Thank you very much. They still start, you know. They still start first time. What about this?
This one came from David...
Yeah.
Richard Vobes.
No, not Richard Vobes.
No.
Henry
David Allen.
Hello, thank you for joining me.
A visit to... Sorry, is that Ilam?
I am, is it?
Ilam?
Ilam.
Ilam.
Yeah,
Or did I mistype
I have no
that?
idea.
I'm not
I
sure.
don't know.
Ilam Hall, Staffordshire.
Yes, in Staffordshire. Nice
Yes,
little
yes.
waterfall.
I do like that one.
It's very nice. Thank you very much. Thank
like
you.
them all. That's
Thank
why
you
I
for
chose
sending
them
it
all.
in and joining me when you send it in.
Can you do that one first?
Yes, I can. Watch this. Wing.
Oh, right. Yeah. Cool. Claire Leach posted this one. An overcast day at Ditchling... Oh, I put my
Beacon.
teeth in. Ditchling Beacon.
That's right, yeah. It's very nice up in Ditchling Beacon, but there it is miserable as sin. Claire Leach, that's as miserable as sin. I only wish you could cheer us up with something a lot nicer. What about this?
And today, said Claire Leach, in contrast, a gorgeous warm November afternoon.
Oh, that's much better. Look at
Much
that.
better,
Lovely.
isn't it?
We
Oh,
love a
isn't it
nice white
nice?
cliff, don't we? Ooh, look at that. And can you see in that picture, just at about midway in there's a little bloke swimming across the English Channel and back?
Oh, look, you can see the sun glinting off his bald
Oh,
pate.
is it just a boy? Oh, it is just a boy. There we are. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for sending those in a week or so ago. Or not that you've sent them in, but posting them on the Board Explorer page. That was absolutely marvellous. But wait, we've still got 4 minutes of the show to go.
What? How
Yes.
did we manage that?
I have no idea. No such luck. Datsun, says James DeWill. Steve Pilfold, I took out the old cash subscription to Vobes Inc. because of the What? I took out the old cash subscription because of the live show when it started up, not because of the videos themselves. Oh, here we are. David, hello. I'm doing it now. I am lamb. There's no B in it, though, is it? No.
Or is it L? I am.
I'm
kidding.
Is it, what's his name? Who's that bloke? John I am. The singer. Fred I am? What's the singer, isn't it? Bob I am.
I'm thinking Dr. Zeus here with Sam I am.
Oh, Will I am.
Oh, Will I am.
Yeah, not John I am. Yeah, we get there. Those boots are wrought iron moulds. Oh, are they? And the dogs are supposed to be...
Geever hounds, apparently. I have no idea what a Geever hound is.
Geever the bone back. Come on, you swine. Oh, dog. Yeah,
Hello,
very
Ross.
weird. The show has jumped back 15 minutes for me and I can't watch live.
Oh, goodness.
Oh,
That's
good for you.
Weird.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, couple of things to do. Pam Earnshaw, she sent in a lovely Christmas card. I don't know if you... Hang on, I need to find the Whizzle Trock. There it is. She sent in this very lovely, handmade, handcrafted...
By Pam.
By Pam.
Oh, wow.
Christmas card. And it says on here, Merry Christmas. It's got a lovely Christmas festive picture on the front.
That's a beautiful picture.
It says to Richard and the team, may your Christmases be happy. May you not get your tinsel in a tangle. We hope your bald pate looks lovely, dished up on Christmas plate. No, it doesn't say that bit. Happy Christmas from Pam with lots of love from everybody else as well. No, it doesn't say that. And it's a lovely robin on a thing.
That's a very beautiful card.
And it's all made by her own hand.
Yeah.
So thank you, Pam. That's very kind of you. That will go pride
Really
of
lovely.
place. I'm going to stick it up there, look, where it can be seen.
What are you looking for next?
Um,
Hasn't that one already been done?
yeah, we've done all those. We've done all these. We've done all
Oh,
those.
what is
If
it
you've
then?
sent a Christmas card in and we haven't shown it to you, I beg your pardon. This came in last week. I had to open it up to find out who it's from and whether we could actually show it, because we have had things where we've opened them and said, do not show on the camera! For God's sake, don't show anybody! But luckily, this isn't one of those. So, the lovely Julia, this is to Richard and Julia.
Oh.
So, or Julia and Richard. So we're going to open that live on the show. This is the great thing. I have no idea what it is. I just know it's in this thing.
Come on in. What?
It's a book. I thought it might be a book, actually. I got that. Holy Farrell. I'm sorry.
Holly.
Oh, Holly Farrell's RHS Royal... Oh, plants from Pips. Pots of plants for the whole... Here, I'll show you.
Awesome.
This looks great. Plants... Royal Horticultural Society. Let's have a quick gander in there. Oh, wow, look. Citrus fruits. Avocado. Have a banana. Souring the pips. Recycle. Basic equipment. See, I can't not do the live show. I've suddenly realised. Because people send in gifts.
Disconnecting, reconnecting connections. Huh.
Connect your live stream. Read...
You've got a message. I heard your phone go beep beep.
I think we may be back. I'm not sure. Because it's now got bloody Facebook. 1 minute it's on, next minute it's off. Now I've got black screen of death. I don't know. Hang on, the only way I can do this is to actually, bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. I'll just go to the Vobes Show and see if there's anything actually...
I could help somehow.
Well, you could help.
Could try.
Mow the lawn. Oh, could you put a log on the fire?
Oh, I could do that.
Yeah, because it's about to go out. I can feel a cold draft coming in. Just going to check to see if we're still... Oh, it says we're still live. Hold on a minute. Yeah, no.
Oh, we're back, apparently.
Oh, we're back. There we go. Thank you very much. I could just about see myself. Just see myself. Oh, yes, because I've seen you gone to put the log on the fire. Well, it won't stop playing. Why will it not stop playing?
How many logs? Just one?
Yeah, just the one. No, two, sorry. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's it, isn't it? I think that's it. We've got you brought in some little chocolate things. Shall we eat those?
Yeah, well... Should we do that?
Yeah, let's do that. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've been running for quite some time. We've had quite a few viewers. We've mulled over the points.
Chewed the cud.
Exactly. And swallowed the custard.
And all that.
And it was very nice. I don't like the skin on custard, do you?
No.
Ooh, it's horrible. So I think the thing is, I will continue to do the Vobes Show as best of my ability. I will put it on a different page on YouTube, and information will be about where you can find that, and I will put on YouTube where you can find the new Vobes shows. So I just want to separate it on YouTube because it's separated on the Board Explorer thing anyway, because it's on its own page. So that's all right. It just may be that I can't always do them religiously Monday, Wednesdays and Fridays, because some things may come up where I just can't do it, and I'll just have to say, like I have done recently, sorry, need time out. Because the Board Explorer needs to take precedence, but I do find this incredibly valuable, and the feedback that I get from you guys is incredibly important to me. I couldn't do it with you.
Yeah. Can I do one more thing then?
Of course you can.
Right. I didn't want to send you a Christmas card, so instead...
You didn't want to send me a Christmas card?
No.
You don't need to send me a Christmas card.
I got you some chocolate Santa.
Ooh!
Fortunately, this one isn't shaped like well. I've seen images of ones where they're unfortunately shaped when you remove the Santa wrapping.
What do you mean? Like
I don't even know why I'm mentioning this.
I don't know why you're mentioning it.
Yeah, so, just like a rocket.
So this is a Christmas Santa?
Yeah.
Made of chocolate?
Yeah.
For me?
Yeah.
Can I have a bit?
Yeah. But this one you'll have to save.
Oh wow!
I contemplated getting a
that's
a Bold Explorer poster or something, and but yeah, I was like,
I feel embarrassed now because I haven't got a present for you.
I don't care. They just think, it's not why people give presents and stuff.
Shall
It's hardly a present, is it? It's just an advent calendar.
Oh yeah, shall I open the first window? Oh no, we're not.
No, because we're not.
Oh, so we can refer to this every time we do a show and open it up and eat the sweet. That's a brilliant idea. Oh well, there we go. You see, more interactivity. So thank you very much.
Oh dear, we're going to have to continue the show.
Yeah, it means.
Royal we.
Oh yes, that means we have to continue it. Would you like a bite of his head?
No, I'm all right, thank you.
Do you mind if I have a bite of his head?
Yes, I do.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a joy to talk to you. Thank you so much. You've been so kind. Pam Earnshaw's great show. Don't give up. You'd miss it. Well, that's very kind. Good night, Richard. Purple Santa.
Oh, Purple Santa.
Oh yeah, Purple Santa. Great show. Well, we've discussed that. Next show, God knows what we'll do, but we'll make it fun to the best of our ability. Thank you so much. I do appreciate it. Don't forget, you can be a patron and, of course, send in all your money.
Did you say who this was from in the end?
It was from Maggie. Did I say that?
I don't know.
I didn't say... Oh, sorry. Yes, this book, very important. Sorry, yeah, it came in... I knew who it was from. It was from Maggie... Sorry, Maggie. It was from Maggie...
Robbie and Dottie.
Maggie, Robbie and Dottie. And it's a lovely book.
Really
Thank you
nice
so much. And so we will just keep making videos to the best of our ability, and we'll just try and keep entertaining everybody we can. And if ever you're in Worthing, once the SE is in, maybe after Christmas, in the new year, come round for a cup of tea with the old Vobie One-Eyed Kenobi. Or a coffee. I'll make it on the
old SE.
On the SE when it's in. Blessy.
Bless ye, Essie. Bless ye, Essie.
Bless you, Essie. Anyway,
Don't put Bessie too near Essie. She'll
Whoa.
go...
have some chocolate.
No, I'm good. I'm going to enjoy this in a minute.
All right. Anyway, thank you so much. We better go. We will get in the studio fairly soon once S is in. But until then, I've got to somehow work out how to turn this off, which I shall do in a minute. But it's very kind, very nice to see you. Thanks so much. It's been a joy. Thanks for coming in, lovely Julia.
Thanks for having me.
Until the next time, arrive dirt cheap.
Ciao. Did you say that?
Yeah, I did. Bye for now.
Ciao for now.
Bye.